Good morning. This is Alexis Parker sitting in with Giovanni Gallucci and Chloe Dawn, and this is the Daily Trend Report.
Morning, Alexis.
Morning, both of you.
Chloe, did you make it out to Foxtrot yet?
Iced oat latte and a parking spot before 7. Two miracles in one morning.
That's a Thursday win in Dallas right there.
Alexis, you look like you've already been out with Ruby.
We did the long loop. There's a stretch of sidewalk on Henderson where the live oaks meet over the street. And right now, the light at 6 in the morning is the best light in Dallas.
You and that camera. Ruby's going to need her own union card before long.
She earns the treats.
Did you get the shot?
Got it. 11 frames, kept one. That's a good morning.
We've got a good show today. 3 sections. First, outdoor lifestyle brands. The lightweight trailer story is officially mainstream, and the national parks story this year is mostly people routing around the famous ones. Second, clean label food and beverage. Retailers are setting the floor on what clean label means now, and the prebiotic soda category just got a Pepsi-sized neighbor. Third, content, social, and AI. LinkedIn has openly tilted the feed toward people instead of company pages, and Instagram is quietly scoring originality. Let's go outside first.
So the headline most of the reports converged on this morning is the same one we've been watching for a few months. The mega rig is losing share. Trailers under 5,000 pounds, SUV sleeping platforms, mid-sized truck campers, modular storage that fits behind a Tacoma or a 4Runner. The truck camper segment alone is heading past $5 billion, and the higher-end laminated brands like Grand Design, Brinkley, Alliance, Jayco, they're outperforming the entry-level stick and tin lines at the spring shows.
It's the second weekend customer. That's the unifying piece. Nobody's buying a 40-foot fifth wheel to use it once a year anymore. They want the rig that fits behind the house, the truck they already own, and a state park 90 minutes from town.
My parents are exactly that customer. Dad won't admit it, but he doesn't want to back a 40-foot trailer into a campsite at 66 years old.
What did they end up with?
A little teardrop last fall. And they've used it more in 6 months than the big trailer in 5 years. Mom told me last weekend they're already booked through Labor Day.
That's the whole story in one anecdote. And the brands that haven't repointed their marketing yet are about to feel it. The hero shot is the trailer behind a half-ton, not a 1-ton dually. The weight number belongs in the headline, not buried in the spec sheet.
And it's not just the trailers. SUV sleeping platforms have crossed over from the overlanding fringe into mainstream consumer gear. The mid-sized truck camper world is the one I'd watch hardest if I sold outdoor gear right now.
Aturo's customer base is right in that lane. The Trailblade XT crowd is the half-ton, mid-size, weekend warrior segment that's growing. I'd love to see more brands reshoot their product pages around a 4Runner or a Tacoma instead of the F350 everybody used to lean on.
Okay, the other piece I want to call out is what's happening at the national parks. Yellowstone, Yosemite, Zion, seasoned RV travelers are deliberately routing around them. Stays near a national park are up about 35% year over year. 43% of travelers are picking the off-season on purpose. RV Share just crowned the Grand Canyon the #1 RV destination of 2026, which tells you the famous 5 aren't the prize anymore.
And the administration canceled the Yosemite and Arches reservation systems, which means the crowding story is going to dominate every Memorial Day weekend news cycle from here on out. The customers reading those headlines, they're picking Caprock Canyons over Yosemite for July.
Sunday at Caprock sounds a lot better than waiting 2 hours to enter Zion.
It is better, and the state parks are absorbing that demand. Pennsylvania DCNR is reporting a 30% jump in spring campsite reservations. New York's opened 2026 bookings already. Oregon's now charging parking at 69 parks. The state park calendar is becoming a real planning variable, and very few outdoor brands are publishing content that helps the customer navigate it.
That's an evergreen opportunity. A What's New at Your State Park in 2026 guide by state, where you have customers. That kind of content compounds in local search for years.
Quick one before we leave outdoor. Memorial Day this Monday is a fee-free day at 106 national parks. And the new rule says future fee-free days are residents only, which is going to be its own story when it hits later this summer.
That's a real one. The brand that posts a quiet, useful list of those 106 parks on Friday morning will pick up a week of saves.
And there's one more thing on the calendar worth flagging. Outdoor Retailer is back in Minneapolis August 19th through 21st, and the program this year is deliberately built around independent brands and the hosted buyer system. If you're a small outdoor brand, this is the year to apply for the GGG and Founded Outdoors Pavilion. If you're a retailer, look at the buyer travel support.
That's a signal the whole channel is pivoting back towards specialty retail. The mega account era is quietly winding down, and the small brand on the floor is the one buyers are showing up for.
Don't sleep on the application window. Programs with airfare support fill early.
Okay, 3 quick takeaways before we move on. 1. Reshoot your hero product around a half-ton or a mid-sized truck and put the weight number in the headline. Stop hiding it.
2. If you sell to outdoor families, publish a state park guide for every state where you have customers and refresh it twice a year. The booking window content earns local search for months.
3. Treat portable power as a real product category, not a gadget. The watt-hours per trip conversation is replacing the best new tent conversation. And the brand that builds a simple calculator wins the next upgrade cycle. So the food and bev story that landed across almost every report this morning is the same one. The clean label floor just got raised by retailers, not brands. Save-A-Lot announced it's purging 7 artificial dyes from all private label by the end of next year. Walmart already committed to pulling synthetic dyes plus about 30 other ultra-processed ingredients from store brands by January 2027. And KeHE just relaunched Wild Oats as a regenerative, organic certified line of cold-pressed juices, smoothies, and eggs.
When private label is competing on clean label, the moat shifts.
Exactly. If your brand has been no artificial colors for years, the moment to publish your timeline is now. Show your work. The story isn't just, we did it. The story is, we did it in 2019. Here's the email chain with our co-packer. Here's what it cost us. Here's the SKU that almost killed us.
That's a content opportunity most brands won't take because legal will flinch. But the founder voice on it is the actual moat.
That's right. Legal can win this fight, or marketing can. And in 2026, it has to be marketing.
The other piece I'd add is that the regenerative claim got cheaper this month. When KeHE puts Wild Oats on the shelf as regenerative organic certified, the price ceiling for that claim drops fast. The brand that's been quietly running regenerative for 3 years can suddenly get undercut by a private label that just got certified.
So the brands that were already there have to lead with the receipts, not the claim. The story behind the certification, not the badge.
And the brands that aren't there need a credible path. Hand-waving at regenerative without certification is going to get called out fast.
The other big one is the prebiotic soda story. Pepsi closed the $1.95 billion Poppi acquisition last May, and the Pepsi Prebiotic Cola launched this month with 3 grams of prebiotic fiber and 5 grams of sugar. The Q1 earnings note said shelf resets were 50% complete and on track to finish in Q2. Poppi went into the UK and Ireland through Carlsberg Britvic.
Which means the indie prebiotic brands need a sharper "why this brand now" answer by Labor Day. The aesthetics game is over. The big guy is on the shelf with a Pepsi-sized budget behind it.
Founder story, ingredient sourcing, the actual fiber profile, and where it comes from. The things Pepsi can't outstory, even with a billion-dollar marketing line.
That's a slow medium, though. It's not a reel. It's a documentary short. A founder talking to the farmer where the inulin came from. That kind of pace.
And it works. Casa Artesano did one earlier this year, a 4-minute piece on the family farm in Oaxaca where their corn comes from. Their DM rate doubled the week it went up. The slow content earned the attention the fast content couldn't.
Casa is the example I'd point any clean label brand to right now. They've been doing the ingredient story since before Maha was a phrase.
Slow content is the thing brands keep deprioritizing because the dashboard doesn't reward it. but it's the only kind that builds a moat against a Pepsi launch.
The other formulation story everybody flagged today is protein plus fiber stacking. Lasso just launched Frubies, 4 grams of protein and 3 grams of fiber, no added sugar. They also launched Crunch Club at 21 to 23 grams of chickpea protein and 7 to 8 grams of fiber per bag. Pepsi launched Doritos Protein. Hippies debuted a protein crunch line. Dairy Farmers of America put out Mulu cottage cheese at 18 grams of protein per half cup. Consumers are reading the back of the package for 2 numbers now, not 1. Protein alone is not enough anymore.
The trap with that is texture. You can fortify a snack into something nobody eats twice. The reformulation graveyard is full of high-fiber bricks.
That's right. If your brand naturally hits both numbers, lead with the stack on pack. If you only deliver 1, plan the reformulation now, but do it on flavor first. Don't punish the eater for the spec sheet.
And one more for this section. Seed oil replacement is finally moving from talking point to spec sheet. Sochil swapped to avocado oil. Jackson's did the same. Pepsi and Real Good Foods publicly committed to removing seed oils in the first year of Maha. The seed oil-free certified label is on more shelves every month. This is the year the conversation became an actual SKU decision.
If you're already seed oil free, get certified. One icon on pack does more than a paragraph in your story carousel.
And if you can't switch yet, don't lie about it. Focus your story on whole food formulation and let the oil question be a smaller part of the picture for now.
That's the right read. This is one of the few clean label conversations that has political flavoring on it, so stay on the science and the product, off the politics.
3 things from this one.
1. Publish your clean label timeline. Treat it like a founder essay, not a press release. Receipts beat claims every time.
2. If you're an indie prebiotic brand, the next 90 days are about founder voice and ingredient sourcing. Stop trying to out-aesthetic Pepsi. Outstory them.
3. Audit your snack and beverage line for the protein plus fiber stack and put the second number on pack the next time you respec. The consumer's reading for both now.
The story all 5 reports landed on this morning is LinkedIn. The platform has openly reweighted the feed toward personal profiles, and company pages have shrunk to about 2% of the feed. Personal profiles are outreaching company pages by more than 500%. PDF carousels are hitting 6.6% engagement. And videos with counterintuitive opinions or operator-level case studies are getting roughly 20 times the shares of other formats.
So the budget that's currently funding company page graphics needs to move.
It needs to move to helping 3 or 4 internal operators post weekly. That's the work. Your CEO, your head of product, your lead engineer, the salt of the earth person who told you last year LinkedIn was a waste of time. That's now your most valuable surface area on the platform.
The discomfort is that those people don't think of themselves as content people. So there's a whole editorial scaffolding the brand has to build. Someone helps draft, someone proofs. Nobody scripts the operator into a voice they don't have.
That's it. The job of the team is to remove friction. The job of the operator is to bring the story and the take.
The other LinkedIn piece I want to flag is that AI-generated formula posts are getting 47% less reach. So if your founder's profile suddenly sounds like a B-School newsletter, the platform notices, and so do the buyers reading it.
AI can do the scaffolding. AI cannot do the voice. That's the line.
60% of B2B buyers are now finding brands through creator and thought leadership content before they ever land on a website or a form. So if your industry counterpart has 3 operators posting weekly and you don't, you're losing the discovery conversation before sales even gets a meeting.
That number's the one that should get a CMO out of bed.
And Instagram pulled a parallel move. They rolled out what they're calling an originality score. The algorithm now actively detects watermarked reposts and copy-paste trend templates and pushes them down. If your social team has been cross-posting TikToks to Instagram with the TikTok watermark still on, your reach has been bleeding out for months.
The brands that have been recycling are already feeling that. The fix isn't expensive. It's just original. Reshoot the framing. Re-record the audio. Put your own voiceover on the trend instead of running someone else's audio through your account.
There's a related stat I liked from this morning. Instagram carousels are clocking a 0.72% engagement rate versus 0.68 for Reels. Photo dumps, 20 slides, no edit polish, are outperforming the polished reel a lot of brands are still budgeting around.
That one's quietly important. A 20-slide carousel takes 20 minutes on a phone. A polished reel takes a half day. The free reach is sitting on the carousel.
And the photo dump is forgiving in the way the polished asset isn't. A messy 7th slide in a dump reads as honest. A messy 7th second in a reel reads as broken.
That's a real read. The brand that learns to be a little loose on Instagram in 2026 is going to outpace the brand that's still hiring a studio for everything.
And the audio story for the week. The Devil Wears Prada 2 audio. The Meryl Streep deadpan has been the dominant TikTok and Reels sound for 3 weeks. The window's closing fast, though. Anything posted past the end of this month will look late.
The I Am Home format with Beat It from the MJ biopic is the one that still has runway. Walk into the gym, the coffee shop, the casino. Confess it's your real home. Brand-friendly, works for almost any category.
And the structural story underneath all of this. DMs are now the most heavily weighted distribution signal on Reels, ahead of likes, ahead of saves, ahead of comments. So the content that wins is the content that earns a screenshot and a send to a friend, not the content that gets a thumbs up and a scroll.
The implication for brands is uncomfortable. You can't measure DMs sent. You can see the reach lift, but you can't see the share, which means the brands that are still optimizing for the dashboard are optimizing for the wrong signal.
One more before we wrap. TikTok Shop put a daily cap on shoppable posts as of May 11th. Brands grinding out volume just hit a wall. The pivot is fewer, better posts. 1 or 2 high-effort posts a day instead of bulk uploads.
That's a healthy, forced pivot. The volume play on TikTok Shop was never going to last.
And it changes how you brief creators. You stop asking for 10 clips a week. You ask for 2 that actually move.
Here's what to actually do with all of that. 1. Move 3 operators inside your company onto LinkedIn with weekly posts and back them with a small editorial team. Stop funding company page graphics. Fund the people.
2. Kill the cross-posted TikTok with watermark on Instagram today. Even if the content is great, the originality score is dragging you down. Re-record the voiceover and reshoot 1 frame.
3. This week, post a 20-slide photo dump on Instagram for one of your brands and put a reel up on the same topic. Compare the engagement on Friday. You will be surprised which one wins.
One last thing before we go. The LinkedIn story we just walked through, the personal profile beating the company page by 500%, that's not a content problem. That's an operations problem. The brands that solve it are the ones that build a quiet editorial system around 3 or 4 internal operators and let those operators be themselves on the feed. That system is what Gallucci Net builds.
AI-assisted production, multi-platform distribution, daily content pipelines for outdoor lifestyle brands, and clean label CPG. The kind of setup that takes a founder from 0 posts a quarter to 2 posts a week without burning them out.
This episode came out of the same kind of pipeline. 5 trend reports, 3 voices, 16-ish minutes of audio, all before the sun came up over Dallas.
All before sunrise.
If that's the kind of system you want sitting under your brand, find me at gallucci.net or DM at gallucci.net on Instagram or LinkedIn. We'll figure out if the work fits.
Talk tomorrow.
Talk tomorrow.
Talk tomorrow.